Hello. I don't have a clever name for this one, but I'm going to try and do Sunday videos that are somewhat helpful to cancer patients or their support people or their family or their friends. So today I thought I would talk a little bit about um, kind of two directions. Not easy for me to describe. All right. Kind of, okay, my family member or my friend has cancer. Now, what can I do to be part of their support system? How can I support them? And I guess I'll caveat this with saying this is individual to every patient, and I'm just giving you my experience, my opinions. As I've already mentioned several times, I've done this several times, so I have a few different experiences. And it also has to, like, as a patient, I can acknowledge I am the type of person when I really get super sick, I just want to curl up, crawl under the bed. Don't bother me. Even my immediate family, I'm like, no thanks. Don't need anything. Just need to be curled up under the bed. I don't actually get under the bed, but you get the point. But however, I think that there are still ways for my friends and family to support me, and I thought it might be useful to you all if I shared some of that. So, number one, I think, is kind of staying in contact, whether that's just a quick text every now and then about anything I can do for you. And I guess that's another thing I should say. When you ask a cancer patient or any patient, is there anything I can do for you? Some will be more than willing to give you a list of the things they want. And others, like myself, will be like, no, we're good. Everything's good. Of course, everything's not good. So, texting me and asking me, is there anything I need, will generally not get you a response. But texting me with a specific thing. I was thinking about going to such and such a restaurant and getting food for your family. Or I'm going to the grocery store. Do you need anything from the grocery store for local folks? For far away folks, I was getting little books and cards and coloring books. Now, did I use all that stuff? I mean, some of the color, I'm not much of a coloring book kind of person, but the cards and the inspirational book of inspirational sayings or whatever, I would page through those and glean some joy for them. And just the fact that somebody went through the effort to order something and have it sent to me gave me some joy. Not unlike when one of you subscribes. There's lots of people that watch, but not a lot of people that subscribe. So when I get a subscription, I feel like, ooh, it was a present to me, right? And it's the same thing when something shows up in the mail. You get it like, ooh, that's a present to me. Now, on the flip side of that, you don't want a lot of stuff either. So, you got to meter some of that. Everyone knows I'm a big crocheter. More than one person has delivered yarn. That might not be the best idea because crocheting and knitting folks might have a particular kind of yarn they like, and you're giving them a yarn they're like, eh. But, maybe a gift card to a yarn store in person, your local yarn store, or the online vendor that you like to use, that kind of stuff. So if you know of a joy or a hobby of the patient that you can support in some way, remembering that some people kind of abandon that hobby during their illness and others cling on to it. I find crocheting to be very calming and meditative, and I enjoy it while I'm sick, as long as I'm not too sick, but others may not, right? So there's a fine line and all that. All right, so that's another thought. I think that just that contact, that text, that, oh, I didn't, even though I'm stuck in my house because my immune system is garbage or because I'm just feeling like garbage and I can't go out, people are still thinking of me. I'm not just off the face of the earth. That's reassuring too. So getting that text message, a call. So I've had several people say to me, I didn't want to call you because I didn't know if you were sleeping or you didn't feel too good. And I'll say this, I'll speak for myself, but I think it's probably true for most. If I'm not feeling good, I'm not going to answer the phone. Or I might answer the phone and say, I don't feel good. Can I call you back tomorrow or next week? Or, this isn't a great time for me, right? But generally, I won't answer. Most people will text you if it's something they need to talk to you about. They'll text you, or they'll reach out to another family member. So I don't have an issue with a call. And a call is lovely to hear somebody's voice and know that you're in their thoughts, and just to hear the normalness of their day, if that makes any sense. Like, they're not stuck in this misery that is cancer treatment. They're outside of that window, and just hearing about the normalness of their day makes me feel better. It makes me feel like I'm a friend or a family member in return, right? Will I pick up the phone when I'm not feeling great, or even during this treatment just to call somebody and chat with them? Generally not. But this is me, right? If I some other people might, but for me, I generally won't call somebody. So if somebody calls me and I feel okay enough to answer the phone, I answer. I might talk to them for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, whatever the thing is, right? But that also makes you feel good and supported. Like you didn't lose this friend, even though you can't go out to whatever your activity was with them. They still want to be in contact with you. You still have value as a person and a friend. So that feels pretty good. Excuse me? Ugh. Still no nose hair? I don't know if I talked about this before. Tangent warning. No hair, no nose hair, nothing for the... there's no place for boogers to be created because there's no nose hair. It's also why your immune system is more compromised, because if you think about your nose hair, they're protecting your body from getting all that stuff into your nose, and right now I don't have any of that layer of protection. And then your white count's a little lower than it's supposed to be, and all the other things just put you a little bit more at risk. When I participate in robotics, I fully mask, just because it's a lot of students and a lot of new germs that I don't want to get introduced right now. All right, so I'm trying to think what else. What other ways to help? So I've already mentioned the groceries. I think if you go back to my old videos from 2 or 3 years ago when I had lymphoma, you'll see I had a thing about angel deliveries. And I as part of my videos, I'd always recognize if anybody dropped anything off or if I received a gift in the mail. Sometimes a gift was a call. One time the robotics team put together a video with current and old members of the team saying that they were supporting me, that they loved me, and how I had impacted their lives, which was incredibly moving and very supportive, right? It really. So I think I guess the gist of the whole spiel, like how can you support them, is by being present. This time around, I can't tell you how many people. I think I'm up to, outside of my family, my immediate and extended family, I think at least 5 to 10 people have said, hey, I'm available if you need a ride, if you need me to go pick up something, go to the pharmacy, whatever. Now, I'm very fortunate financially to be able to afford to have my pharmacy stuff delivered. CVS has a nominal fee. So, sometimes I'll ask one of my kids or somebody that's near the pharmacy, but sometimes I'll just be like, oh, I can wait a couple days. I can get that delivered. Same thing with our groceries now, right? Since the pandemic, we order all our groceries in. So generally, I don't have a need to ask anybody to go to the grocery store for me. But occasionally there's something I can't get, yada, 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 right? So I will ask. I have been, I had at least 1 or 2 friends say, I'm at the grocery store, or I'll be near the grocery store on these days. If you need anything, just text me. And occasionally I do. But I think that's the most significant way to show support. On these videos, when you guys give me thumbs up or you comment, my friends and family comment, but also I get comments from other patients, other family and support members. Those really mean a lot. They tell me that what I'm sharing with you is somewhat helpful and also lets other folks know that they're not the only ones going through it. So I hope that that's what I'm accomplishing. And definitely those thumbs up and those comments and subscriptions make me feel supported. So I guess the name of the game as far as being a friend or family member is how can you support that person? And it might, you have to work with them. It might be a visit, right? When you talk to them or text them, you up for a visit? Would you like me to bring something? Can I bring your favorite food? And now remember, their favorite food might not be their favorite food right now. So it might be, what would you like me to bring? Would you like some soup from this place or a rice dish from that place, or something super bland from someplace else? Or can I make something, right? So all those things are ways to show your support and love. I don't know. So this was a very blah, blah, blah video. Sorry, I was off in many tangents. I guess, let me summarize. So ways to support. A text message with specific just a general, how you doing? Or is there anything I can do? General, how are you doing? We're doing okay. I guess the other thing to do, I guess I should have mentioned this in the text and the call. It makes me feel better if the whole text isn't just about my health, if that makes sense. So if there's some share about what's going on in your life, or, like it's a two-way street. So some text or call showing your support, generically and specifically. If you want to offer some concrete type of help, then try and be specific. That would be my advice. You can always open it up with, there anything I can do. Most people are going to say, no, I'm good. At least I can, speaking for myself. But if you come in with a specific, is there some, can I do this? They all say yes or no. Another suggestion from close family friends is to ask for some of your comfort foods. Like, is there a casserole that you ate as a child that would make you feel that cuddle, that good feeling? Talk to your mom, talk to your sister, your brother, whomever, your aunt. Ask them to make that casserole for you and divvy it into individual dishes, or servings that you can freeze. Or if your whole family would eat it, then just the whole casserole. If it's something you don't think your family would eat, but it would give you comfort, ask for that, right? That was a question. That was for the patients. I think I digressed a little bit. Back to the support people, offering rides, offering to pick up things, giving small gifts, nothing too extravagant, that are in line with something they might need. Either a hobby or something they love to do, an activity. For me, I do a lot of Sudoku, but I don't need a Sudoku book because I like to do it on my phone because I just don't want to have the clutter in the paper. But, some people like to do written puzzles. That helps with the brain a little bit. Is there, they're watching lots of videos on their phone. Could you get them some kind of holder for their phone so they don't get tired? Like all kinds of things. You just have to be a little creative, but be creative in a way that's supportive and helpful, not just more stuff, if that makes any sense. So I think that was about it. Sorry, it was a little rambly. I'll try to, maybe when I rewatch this, try to figure out, maybe look down in the comments below. I'll try to organize my thoughts a little better. And thank you for coming along today. Tomorrow's going to be a better day. Be well.